Well, this is a typical figure fettling exercise. This is a hat, H-A-T, with umlauts, American Civil War marching figure. So I've spent about 4 hours so far on this. Best things to use, I find, after decades of trying different things, is a cut-down hook scalpel blade, which gives it a lot more strength and it doesn't flex and vibrate as you're using it to scrape, because you can get around all the corners. You don't have to keep moving the figure too much. It can hook round and do curves quite well. And then once I've got rid of most of it, but I use this for cutting as well. And then once you've got rid of most of the excess plastic, and for example, hollowing out under his arm, and then come here, you twat. Oh, for fuck's sake. They do go all over the place, and they're very difficult to hold as well. So I might just cheat and stick all four in the base, shoulder, elbow to elbow, and at least that gives them some rigidity when you're fettling or scraping or filing or cutting. Yes, it's funny how not many people seem to mention that this is the stage that takes the longest. Painting is the relatively quick, enjoyable part, but this, you can easily spend 10 hours on a figure to get it back to the original sculpted version. Well, the sculpted version was probably 54 millimeters, so and then they'll just reduce it down. All the fluffy stuff, I can get that off, most of it, with something like this. And then once you apply varnish, I still haven't done under his arm properly. Still got the crap under there, his left arm. And yes, once you varnish or prime, whatever, all that fluff tends to disappear. Well, most of it will go once I filed it, but it really does, because it's so fine, the fluff, that it seems to just flatten onto the figure. Yes. Still, I think these are superb figures. Good anatomical proportions, and when you put them all elbow to elbow, they look great, realistic, and grim. Yes. So, it amazes me that most people don't mention the fettling stage, or they just don't bother with it. There is one way around it, which is to not bother fettling and just slap on thick paint to hide the moulding imperfections, you know, the mould, joint, infill areas, all that crap that you have to contend with. So this leads me on to my next main point. This is the bane of my life, the amount of my life that I spend fettling, which is possibly unnecessary rather. I think it's about time these manufacturers, especially of the expensive figures, 3D in particular, what you'll notice with 3D printed figures is that they have ridges which I suppose are for strengthening, but that means they have to be gotten rid of because they look ridiculous. There's usually about 4 of them around the figure vertically, with running along the height of the figure. So they have to be gotten rid of. So 3D printing doesn't save you any time at all compared to moulded figures. I'd hoped it had. I'd hoped they would be able to produce perfect figures without any additions, but they can't. They don't seem to be able to. Maybe they're making them strong enough for wargaming purposes, which they're not anyway, because it's a very brittle material and they've got much thinner parts that'll snap off. And the next thing is figures like this. It seems that figures such as this and Warlord Games' epic scale have actually been designed using 3D printing software, because they also have been moulded with ridges, like down here. I've got rid of most of it now, and down here, all the way down the legs and the face. Even on the face, you've got these corners, as it were, which you have to get rid of, and that takes an eternity to get the face looking reasonably human, for example. Hopefully I can hide a lot of the faces by putting slouch hat brims on these kepi figures. Yes, why can't they invent a machine? Or when they 3D print, why do they bother putting these extra bits in, like ridges? It's completely unnecessary, and it just wastes my time, which is limited. And just think, if you didn't have to do all this crap when you buy these figures, you can just get on straight away with painting them. My God, think of the output you can achieve. So, yes. Oh, sorry about that. It's, little pigeon having some oats. Aww. And, well, say regarding metal figures or hard plastic on a sprue, why can't they come up with a machine that's going to get rid of all their moulding imperfection crap? It's all their process, and yet we're expected to pay an awful lot of money for these figures with all this crap on them. It's about time they came up with a frigging machine to get most of this crap off before they sell it to us. And if they want to up the prices, I wouldn't mind one bit. Even if they doubled their prices, I wouldn't care, because it would save me most of my time spent doing this crap. Yes, and with 3D printing, surely you can produce figures that aren't distorted or fucked up with this stupid software bloody rubbish. Anyway, I've spent a lifetime doing this crap, and it's probably unnecessary in this modern day and age. If these figures manufacturers actually got their act together and created figures without all this crap, and if they want to charge a lot more, I'd pay it, because I am sick of doing this crap, and it is stunting my output. So there. I think they should make all figures 3D printed now, and get rid of those stupid ridges. Because then there wouldn't be any time wasted preparing them before painting. So, anyway, that's my major gripe in life, is that all this work is essential if I want to photograph these figures in close-up, because any slight imperfection will show up. So I have no choice, really. I want to achieve perfection, or as near to it as possible in realism. So I have no alternative. It'd be nice if they develop some technology. And incidentally, Britain's figures, you know, big expensive things, ready painted. If you look at them, I know they're sort of big figures, but you look at the way they've been fettled prior to painting, and they're absolute perfection. I was looking at some of the artillery wheels on the guns that they do, and they are perfect. There is not a trace of moulding marks. Nothing. Maybe they have a machine to do it in China that does it very quickly and skillfully. Probably. And they can do it much quicker. They probably rotating machine, rotating filing thing. I've no idea how they do it, but they do a superb job of preparing the figures prior to painting. And if you're going to spend £50, say, on a cannon, just a gun, 1/32 or whatever scale they are, they can never quite work out themselves what scale they are. Bollocks. So don't anyone tell me, oh, they're 1/32, oh, they're 1/35, because you're full of shit. They don't even know themselves, and most of their figures are wrong in scale anyway. So bollocks, don't waste my time with your pathetic little chip-ins. Right, bugger off.